Hey everybody, I just finished another book in the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. This is number 23, Zapped In Space. So one thing I want to show you guys really quick is this book I got from Thrift Books quite a few years ago, and the Thrift Book sticker is actually like holding part of the spine together, sort of, like the paper part of it. And yeah, so that sticker is going to stay for a while. I could probably use another copy of this book eventually. It's not a very hard book to find. I found one on like Thrift Books for like $8 or $9, I think, a while back ago, or actually a couple days ago. But yeah, Zapped In Space is about you and your three friends. You guys are going to this virtual reality arcade thing that you guys heard about. I think you guys heard about it on the news, or not the news, the newspaper. And yeah, you find this building and it's run down. There's nobody there. You go inside anyway, and you see like an arcade, and this lady pops up, and she's wearing this veil over her face, and she introduces herself as Madame Zapp, and she says that she has two arcade games for you guys to play. They're both virtual reality. One is called Adrift to Vega, and the other is called The Abominable Snow Woman. And so yeah, that's your first choice. I picked the Alien storyline because I hate cold weather. It's really cold here now. And yeah, so the first storyline, you put on the virtual reality helmets, and she tells you, if it gets too scary, you can take them off, and you'll come back to the real world. So anyway, you put the helmets on, and you're transported to this like spaceship like thing, and you guys are like looking at the stars and all that. It's really cool. Excuse me. And you think it's really neat, and then this alien pops up, and that's the alien on the front cover. He's got two heads, 4 arms. He's got slime dripping from him. He spits goo at you and all this crazy stuff. He spits like this black ink stuff at one of the characters, and she blocks her with her arms, and she actually gets burned. So she gets scared, so she goes to take her helmet off, but she realizes she can't do it. Like, she takes her helmet off, and she's still there, like in this spaceship world. So you guys decide to either fight back or escape from the hatch from the alien. And yeah, I fought back. And the alien eventually kind of gives up, and he starts talking, and he says that he needed you guys here because he is at war with this other alien species called the Arcticans, I think. And this guy here is called a vegan. Yeah. So he needs you guys' help, and the only way to help is to go through these 3 levels on the arcade. And the first 2 levels you could pick either one. It's yellow and red, and then you got a blue final level. And I really enjoyed that. The yellow and blue, you could pick whichever way, and the blue level is the final level. And yeah, I thought this was really cool. The yellow level is the one I started off with. And it takes you to this world that's like it's really like no gravity hardly, and you're running, or like, running on the ground, and you see this big blob monster like thing. He's yellow, and it can possess you. You can catch it in a bottle and different things like that. This little part here isn't super entertaining, but what is entertaining is the next level, which is the red level. You beat this level, you get to go to the red level, or vice versa. It doesn't matter which one you go to. I thought it was really cool that I picked yellow and then red, because it felt like the yellow level is a little bit easy, and then the red level is a little harder. So it's like advancing, slowly. The red level leads you to this room, and you see this picture on the wall, and it's this lizard family, like a mom, dad, and a baby. And yeah, the lizard man is home from work, and he's after you guys. And you try to run away from him. You can get weapons like guns, or like these blaster things, or a sword. And yeah, one of the greatest endings in this book, it has to do with the sword. I thought it was really cool. Even there's also a part in this storyline where if you open the door, like, it's so hot that it burns like you immediately as soon as you walk outside, because it's like a desert. Yeah, if you manage to escape this little lizard man, you get to go to the blue level. And the blue level, you meet these guys. They are in jars, and they're just floating heads, and these are the Artuicans or something like that. They basically are the ones that can get you home or whatever, and they ask you three questions. And one's like a word search. You got to figure out like how many words are in each one. The other is something to do with like a question about a Goosebumps book, which is Trapped in Batwing Hall, which I thought was funny. And then there's a number question that's really easy, and it's basically you pick out the missing number, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 or something, and the missing number is like 5. It's really easy, and I thought that was really funny because these aliens are very serious, and they're supposed to be the smartest aliens in the galaxy or whatever, and the questions are very simple. And yeah, I enjoyed the little Trapped in Batwing Hall question. But yeah, and that's basically the alien storyline in Zapped in Space. I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. There's also like these alien cockroaches and an alien like that picks you up if you run away from. I think it's if you run away from the blob. He picks you up and puts you in a spaceship, and he says, "Hey, yeah, I can take you home, but it'll be like 2,000 years or something." That's really cool. The roaches are really weird. They want to take you to this like garbage place and let you live off of garbage, which is really funny. But yeah, I thought the alien storyline hit all the marks. It had like a lot of commentary. The aliens were actually pretty scary, especially at the beginning. And yeah, that part was really cool. As for the snow level, I enjoyed the setting, but yeah, basically you get to this snow level, and you're in this Arctic like wilderness like thing, and you're supposed to find the Arctic woman or the snow woman. And so basically you get there and you're immediately attacked by a walrus, and you scare him off by putting icicles in your mouth, turning into a walrus, and he runs away. Then you run into this kid that throws a spear at you, and he doesn't realize who you are, and then you start talking to him, and it turns out his name's Andy. He was playing a game a couple weeks ago, and he got trapped in this level, and he says, yeah, we got to find the snow woman to get home. And yeah, you guys run into snowmobiles, like giant dogs, like giant snow dogs. And yeah, there's really not much to this storyline. You can get on a snowmobile at one point. You go underground to this like cave where the actual snow woman is, and that's basically it. There's not really much that happens in the storyline, I don't think. There's like some good endings, I think, like being trapped in a cave, or stuff like that. Going home with a frozen hand, or if you touch it, everything freezes. Yeah. That storyline was pretty weak to me. I enjoyed the setting. I enjoyed the snowy atmosphere and different things like that. But yeah, the alien storyline knocked it out of the park for me. But yeah, and that's basically Zapped in Space. As far as favorite endings, my favorite ending would be the one with the sword. It has something to do with the lizard's hands and stuff. I'm not going to say much more. And yeah. The endings probably could have used some work in this book, but overall I still enjoyed like the whole layout. The video game concept of like going to the yellow level, then blue level, or yellow level, red level, then blue level, reminded me a lot of being a kid and playing video games like before internet, and just trying to see what the levels look like. Like you beat this level, and like, ooh, I can't wait to see what this next level is, And yeah, that's basically it. One complaint that I had too about Zapped in Space was, and this goes both ways, but the Snow Woman storyline, there's a certain character that turns into somebody else that turns out to be something else, and it contradicts another storyline that somebody else is somebody else. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, the Snow Woman storyline I didn't really care about. I love the alien storyline, so that's the one I'm going with. That's the canon for me. But yeah, Zapped in Space, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5 stars, really high 4 out of 5 stars. I don't think it was like the best Give Yourself Goosebumps book, but it was really good. And the Snow Woman storyline knocked it down a few points for me. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you. Please let me know in the comments below, what did you think about Zapped in Space? And let me know some recommendations for the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. Which one should I read next? I got some, that I'm planning soon. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.